Hey guys, welcome back to the Bayside Fabrication YouTube channel. Well, if you can't tell by looking at this, am not in Florida. I'm actually up visiting my family in Connecticut right now, and today I'm headed over to my brother Gabe's house to work on his compound turbo Volkswagen TDI ALH motor. So it's a pretty wild setup, and I'm happy to share with you guys. So we're just headed over there now for a little bit, and we're going to work on the turbo manifold today. In the meantime, you can see I am driving I think it's a 1998 Toyota Tacoma. I used to have a 96 Tacoma, and I loved it, but it's just funny driving an old truck again, man. I forgot how small these things are compared to like my new Tundra. I mean, this thing is tiny, but I love it. Crank windows, no bells or whistles, but man, this thing escaped all the frame rot recalls and spent actually most of its life in Florida. It was my grandfather's truck. He passed away, then my parents just have it as like kind of a, you know, loaded up with mulch and, you know, do, you know, just basic truck stuff with it around the house. So it gets like 100 miles a year put on it. And I get to drive it when I'm up here. So I love this little thing. All right, Jojo! Hey, Jojo! Come here! You crazy? All right, here we are. Guys, this is my brother Gabe.
How's it going?
He was in one of the last videos, actually. You were down in Florida, now we're up at your place in Connecticut.
Yes, sir.
And what you got here, pal?
I'm building a 1.9 TDI ALH. Gonna have a compound turbo setup.
So Volkswagen.
Yep.
4-cylinder TDI.
Yep.
The ALH is out of what, like late?
It's like a 99, late 99 to early 2006.
Awesome. And mechanical fuel injected.
Yep. Yep, that's the cool beans. Got 0.26 converters. This is a 11 mil pump that we pulled out of a junkyard down in Florida that I...
This is the pump we pulled out?
No, the pump we pulled out's in this car. This is all the stuff that we got from the junkyard.
Okay.
I mailed it back to myself last time I was on vacation with you.
Right.
So, yep, 11 mil pump. These came out of the automatics. The manuals had a 10 mil. So, yeah, you step it up to the 11 mil pump, definitely get that smoke and chooch going.
Dude, the freaking bass boat.
Yeah.
Paint job is
so
sick.
Glitter paint and like 20 layers of clear coat.
This is gnarly.
So, yeah, trying to do full AC on it and have all the luxuries, but shooting for like 250 horsepower and mid 450-ish foot-pounds of torque, so it should be a peppy little girl.
And the plan is it's going in this turd.
Yep. Got a free Jeep from a good friend of mine. And I can't let anything free go to waste, so...
I hear you, dude. Man after my own heart. Awesome. All right, so we're here today, well, just because we're hanging out, but we're here with all these parts, and explain to me what we're doing, because this is...
Yep, it's a HX35. These are all eBay turbos, because...
Yeah, dude.
That's the way to go.
No, they'll run.
So yeah, it's a HX35. I think they come stock off of 5.9 Cummins.
Yep.
And it's going to be fed by this little girl. Well, this little girl's going to feed this guy.
So we're making a compound turbo setup for this.
Yeah.
Which is kind of rare, right? Like, not too many people do it. Like, you have one guy, and what's his name?
Whitbread Performance out of Michigan. Give them a shout out. The guy, Matt, the owner, he is the shit. Super knowledgeable on any TDI questions that you have, especially with the ALHs. I'm actually mimicking his setup. He's been a huge support and resource of knowledge for me. So.
Yeah, and you actually, this is your adapter plate to that transmission.
Yep, he makes billet adapter plates for Ford Rangers, Jeeps, and I asked him one time, he said if you have anything custom, he'll do it. So
awesome. So check out Whitbread.
Yep. Performance.com.
Awesome, yeah. Well, check that guy out because he's been a big, like Gabe was saying, he's been a big help in sizing turbos and stuff. He's actually running a smaller size than this right now.
In a Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, but he said he's actually going to redo it to exactly what you're going to do.
Yep.
So
he's running his off a junkyard motor. I have main studs and rods, and this thing's built,
yeah.
You know, it's bored out 5 over. So.
Oh yeah, we forgot to tell him that. This thing's like, it's got big old rods in it, and
it's put H-beam rods. You know, it's ready to go. So I'm ready to feed her all the boost.
Dude, this thing's so small.
I know.
It's crazy.
I can't believe something like this makes over 400 foot-pounds of torque.
Or hopefully more.
Hopefully way more.
So yeah, today's goal is we're going to build a turbo manifold. So Gabe bought all the parts necessary, and he actually had his buddy cut the flange out of stainless. So these run a stock. This is a stock manifold flange, and these
it's actually not. They're not stock flanges. What Volkswagen does, which is the stupidest thing ever. I can't stand it. They cast the manifold and turbo.
Right, it's all one piece.
The exhaust housing and the turbo together.
Yeah. But you cut this off the cast, right?
So
yeah. So this is just the template. But yeah, the Volkswagen, like Gabe was just saying, it's all the whole exhaust housing is cast into the manifold.
So then when you're trying to do like that's the problem I ran into with doing the turbo stuff, because on the forums everybody's just arguing with each other and you can't figure anything out.
Right.
But they have like certain turbos that you can buy because there's only so many people that are making.
Right.
You know.
So it's just as easy. Turbos. Your buddy just cut this out of a plasma.
Yeah.
And it's all stainless and it matches. The only thing, I mean, like we were talking about the other day, the only thing that sucks about it is it's pretty much, it's on the same side as the intake.
Yeah.
So it's kind of counterintuitive because it's, I mean, obviously your hot exhaust is right next to your what you want to be cool intake.
But what can
it's
you do?
Just the way this goes.
So
the plan is...
If they are moving fast enough where it doesn't heat up.
Yeah. All right, so how this works is the manifold, turbo manifold, feeds the small turbo. This is the exhaust on obviously the hot side of the manifold. This is going to couple to we're going to do a 3-inch, obviously. So we're going to weld the 3-inch onto here. This 3-inch feeds the exhaust housing on the larger turbo, and then our downpipe, up pipe or whatever, exhaust just goes out that way. So on the cold side, our small turbo is fed by the outlet of our large turbo. So our air filter's going on the large turbo here. This plumbs into the inlet of our small turbo, and then this goes to our intercooler and then to our motor. So it's honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Me neither.
Because I would think that you'd want the small turbo to feed I don't know. Anyways, that's not how you do it. This is exactly how you do it, and so that's what we're doing. I thought it was almost the opposite way. I thought, the small turbo would feed the large turbo, and then the large turbo would go to the motor, but it doesn't. This goes to that.
Because the way it was explained to me is as this turbo spools up and reaches its peak, then this turbo's already ready to make boost, and then you pull all the boost off this at full power.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And it just runs through this while this is already maxed out?
Yeah.
So it just uses this as an intake, and this overpowers this turbine?
Exactly.
Or something? Yep. I don't know.
Pretty much.
Anyways, it's how everybody does it, and we're not smart enough to understand exactly how it works, but it's how it works. We're going to start putting it together and see how it fits, but that's kind of the plan. Okay, first step is we are using 1.5" Schedule 10 stainless steel pre-bends here, and what we have to do, they're actually, these ports are pretty small. So it actually wound up not being able to fit with these nuts on the manifold. So I had to just throw this in a vise and oval it out. And that's going to gain us there. But you can see how small that is. And we're just going to have to make it work. And this is going to be a bad unit manifold. So if he ever wants to port it or just do anything crazy with it.
I'm definitely going to be reaming stuff out and smoothing like once we have altitude.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
So yeah, we just went with a larger diameter because of availability and stuff. But it's going to work really well. But this is kind of stuff, you're going to build any kind of turbo manifold. This is really the size, I mean, pretty much everybody uses. So, but this is all stuff that's heavy duty. We'll be able to hold both turbos. We'll probably wind up making a bracket to hold up the large turbo, I think. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right, nerd, how long have we been working on this?
I don't know, like 4 hours.
So we had some trouble. We originally had a few tubes tacked in, and we were gonna mount this higher, like up here, and then we kind of were playing around the large turbo, and it just wasn't gonna work. So our idea now is just we're gonna essentially mirror this, and the big turbo is gonna mount up high, like probably front and center. Final stretch. What do you think, dude?
It's looking pretty good.
So we had to do a few renditions. Yeah, we had, well, first off, we had the turbo like mounted up here, and that didn't work out.
No, it was too close to the intake.
Way too close to the intake, and then the big turbo would have to be set back more. So we have plenty of room in the front here for turbo stuff, but obviously there's gonna be a transmission, bell housing, blah, 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 blah. So we really don't want anything protruding past the rear of the engine. And like I said, this thing's what, 16 inches long total? So there's plenty of room forward.
Well, it's replacing an inline 6, so.
Right, a 4-liter inline 6. So, yeah, so now we're just working on these second runners here, and we did have them coming up, like up here. We were trying it out, and it just wasn't working quite well. So this is kind of what we wound up with. So the little turbo is going to be on the bottom, hanging. And we just pulled the gate off this turbo. But we're thinking this turbo will go somewhere about here. Which is sweet, because we can even, you know, we can like make a mount on the manifold almost. And then I'm thinking we can build a like a little tab just to support the bottom of the manifold, just because there is a lot of weight on it. But once this is all welded, it's going to be pretty wild. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, even up higher, like here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we got so much room to play with, it can go.
Plenty of room for activities.
Yeah.
And then that's sweet because this is the downpipe or up pipe or whatever, and now there's plenty of room to run that, you know, down and up or whatever we're gonna do with it. Yeah, I'm thinking right there, dude. Somewhere in that neighborhood. We'll just clock this but yeah, we're almost out of time. So let's finish that. Let's get the manifold tack together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Get the small turbo on. Just so you guys know, we're using just a chop saw, a hot saw. Was that 14 inch?
Yep.
Yeah. 14 inch hot saw to cut this stuff. And a deburr to de-dingle or a dingle. Tingle. Man. We're using a deburr just to deburr it after we cut it. And I don't know, what do you think, dude?
Looking pretty.
This is the last piece for the manifold.
I know. I'm excited.
So we'll get that bottom turbo mounted, and we have a half an hour before we gotta leave, so I can't wait to get this tacked on, get the turbo bolted on. Maybe we can get the big turbo kind of tacked in place, but we're not gonna rush it.
That's the last space for the last one.
All right, I'm gonna dingle the hingle here. That's it, dude. That's the last piece. Now, just go over this welder real quick. This is your ESAB multi-process.
Yep. Nig takes a stick.
Dude, this thing's sick. My only complaint, and I'm just complaining because I don't use one of these every day and I'm really not used to it, is this has this lift arc instead of high frequency, and that kind of sucks. So I've been sticking the tungsten a lot. Just, obviously you see me swearing a bunch. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it really works for you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no foot pedal.
Yeah.
But
that's a big plus in my book.
Exactly. So, I mean, the gas is all controlled right here. Then you initiate the arc, you touch it to the surface.
You want to show them the interface?
And then, yeah, the interface is pretty basic. I mean, it's all You know, you can switch from MIG to TIG to stick, and it's all super simple unit, which works for you because you're out there welding freaking rusty Jeep parts.
It has a smart weld too.
Yeah, the smart weld is sick.
Actually works.
Yeah,
like,
so
amazing.
Right, and so this is the MIG welder I have. I don't have the multi-process, but I'm glad you picked this up because this is, I mean, the arc is incredible.
Well, I asked you, I'm like, which one should I get? You said I should have got this one.
Yeah, that's what I would have got because
So I bought it.
my only issue is it doesn't have pulse and a high frequency start,
Right.
which kind of is a limiting factor, but it's still weld aluminum.
I mean, for me, it's far surpassing what I can ever do.
Hey, it just made this.
So
there's that. All right, dude, let's get this turbo bolted on. See if we can mount the large turbo.
Cool. So
All
yeah.
right, so what turbo is this one here?
So this is the same size, or this is the GT 5022.
Okay, and this is the upgrade that normal guys do.
Yeah.
The small one on the TDIs. Is
Yeah.
that what I'm understanding?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And then this guy, we just pulled the wastegate off of it because I had an internal pop-off valve. And this is what?
HX35.
HX35. So this is like stock Cummins size
Yep.
turbo.
5.9 common size. Yep.
This is what all the guys use on E30s. Cool. So now we got to mount this somewhere around here. Is what I'm thinking.
I like it.
Yeah. Oh, too much? Oh boy. Springs out. There we go. I'm thinking something like that, dude. It would be freaking
Yeah.
the cat's pajamas.
I like it.
All right, dude. So unfortunately, we got the 3-inch. Well, it's not unfortunate because this is going to be our downpipe material. But we actually need 2.5-inch
Right.
for the this turbo to that turbo. And we'll actually just show you guys real quick what we're dealing with. So imagine this in 2.5-inch. So this is how it's going to go in 2.5 almost. I know it's lame. We're cutting it short, but we ran out of time.
I think we made significant progress in a day's work.
Yeah, no, it sucks. We really needed 2 days, but I mean, this is a big step, dude.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, this is sick. And what, 7 hours?
Yeah.
We made a whole turbo manifold. So that's pretty rad. Dude, so this is what we accomplished in 7 hours.
Yep.
Not bad.
Got the 5022 mounted.
Yep, and now we gotta mount the big boy, but we just talked about it. We came up with a plan. We're gonna run 2.5-inch and pretty much just do a 90 this way and a 90 up, and the big boy is gonna be mounted somewhere around here is where the T3 flange is gonna be. So we actually didn't have a flange for this. So that's gonna be it, dude, right there.
Yeah. That's a good look up front. Rowdy.
I'm pumped, dude. This is gonna be freaking nuts. So the only thing I want to do is just because, I mean, just to avoid any kind of risk. I mean, I don't think this will ever crack, but is just use one of these bosses here and just support the turbo a little bit.
Yeah.
That way, you know, because it's just kind of hanging off all. I mean, this is heavy duty stuff, but once it gets hot,
maybe there's something we could drill and tap into.
Yeah.
Just to throw a bolt on it so we don't even have to weld to it, you know?
Cool. All right. That's it.
Adios.
That's it for our Connecticut adventures this time. But yeah, dude, this is gonna be freaking rowdy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.